Steve Kerr penned a piece. Wow, look at that. That was some great alliteration. I think Jay Stu's probably high-fiving me back in LA. Steve Kerr penned a piece when he was the general manager of the Phoenix Suns, and he talked about how that the NBA needs college basketball to have players in school longer. And he kind of went through a bunch of things, and some of it was that players aren't really emotionally or mentally ready to be pros. But a good portion of it is that when you play in college, it's promoting what they're going to be in the NBA. And the longer you play in college, the more known that you are. So I bring this to the point of I think that's the biggest reason that the NBA draft right now is a complete and utter dud. The story about Ace Bailey, who was a freshman at Rutgers. He and Dylan Harper were supposed to tear up the Big Ten. They had a good, not great season. They didn't go to the NCAA tournament. And now, I with all the Ace Bailey stories about his former AAU coach being his agent and what a disaster that's been, a lot of people don't know who Ace Bailey is. Right? Jay Stu, I think you asked me earlier this week, who's this Ace Bailey guy? What's the deal with him? Whereas basketball guys like, yeah, Ace Bailey is legit, really, really talented guy. Doesn't mean I draft him, but again, super talented. I know who he is because obviously I'm a coach. I'm in that industry, and I've covered the sport for over 20 years. So I just think that at some point we may have this thing shift in the right direction because players are getting compensated at a crazy high level in college basketball. I mean, you're talking about well into healthy seven-figure salaries. AJ DeBanza, it's rumored, right? Is it $6 million? Is it $7 million? It's a lot of money. Now, the best of the best are still going to leave because it's not about your first contract in the NBA. It's about your second and your third, the likes of which no one's ever going to get to a $300, $400 million, $500 million contract in college basketball. It just doesn't make any sense. But I wonder if it becomes a much bigger thing with players staying around longer. Here's LeBron James on the Mind That Game podcast talking about the advantage Cooper Flagg has going in the league that he did not.
I personally think that he wants to be great. He had a hell of a year at Duke, a guy that can do so many different things on the floor, can play with the ball, can play without the ball. His jump shot is going to continue to get better, super athletic, quick second jump. And also, he gets to join a team that's established.
Right.
With Hall of Fame guys, Klay Thompson, Anthony Davis, Kyrie Irving, right off the bat, Hall of Fame coach Jason Kidd. These guys are they can give him the whole blueprint while he continues to learn what his blueprint will be. And I think that's going to be an incredible thing for him to have that type of presence, that type of leadership, just basketball IQ and knowledge around him every single day from those pieces. So I think he's going to be amazing.
I actually agree with LeBron. The ability to go to a team that's not made up of knuckleheads or is not completely in despair is huge. Huge. Chet Holmgren, of course, he got hurt, but Chet Holmgren got to join a team where they were young, but they had all the right kind of guys, and he slowly grew and has matured and gotten a chance to play a big role at a young age. So many of these number one overall picks don't get that chance. They just do not. They play on bad teams, and they develop bad habits, and then when they finally get to a good team, those bad habits are hard to break. But Cooper Flagg, imagine, and there's a hype train for Cooper Flagg, rightfully so. He was the best high school player in the country when he should have been a junior in high school. Instead, that ended up being essentially his senior year. And so then he goes to college basketball, and there's a lot of hype around him. But imagine if he stayed at Duke 2 more years. Imagine. Once you know guys and you get to see them. Now, the other part to it, and maybe this is the other, I'm contradicting myself. I don't think college basketball, despite the fact guys are getting paid now, I don't think it'll ever be where it used to be as a ratings cash cow. There's just too many games on TV. nothing seems special, and the regular season really doesn't seem to matter. But if you think that the one and done rule or the none and done rule works for the league, I give you the fact that now you have a potentially transcendent player, and the draft matters so much that 95% of the people who you talk to would not know that the draft has a second day.